Alright, hey guys, I'm doing another video because I was getting some questions about my cold air intake and my transmission cooler. So I'm gonna dive a little deeper on how I have it routed and all that stuff. So I'm working on another project that I had to take off my bumper for, so I figured might as well take the opportunity to show you guys. So we'll start with my cold air intake. A lot of people were asking which one I have, this and that. It's actually a combination of a cold air intake made by Takata for a 2009 Scion TC and some parts from the original intake from the Camry. Doesn't matter, 4-cylinder V6. Really, I just used the bellow right here and one of these couplings, and the same breather hose. The rest is the intake from the Takata for the Scion TC. So it comes in two pieces, like 1, 2, and it's just connected here. It allows for movement, especially when the engine's going back and forth. It allows for that, and it kind of gives you a little bit of room to work with as well, being that it's kind of tight in here, especially with the factory airbox. So it starts here, comes down, couples, and then it goes down all the way to the bottom, and then I'm gonna go out here so you guys have a reference, and then it comes here to the bottom. So right now I have everything secured with heavy duty zip ties. It was supposed to be a temporary thing, but it's actually been holding up pretty good, so I left it like that. I haven't had any problems, but eventually I do want to do a more professional, secure method, if you will, but it's working out for now. So, and here's I have a cover on here since it's way down low, just in case it gets sprinkled with some water. It's kind of protected, and keeps the filter nice and clean. So that's just a universal Spectre filter. You don't have to use K&N, this and that. So yeah, the temperatures are a lot colder with it down here. I do read intake temperatures, and even on a hot day like today, it was about, when I was coming home, it was about 99, and I was getting intake temperatures. Of course, cruising down the highway, I was getting intake temperatures of maybe like 101, 102. So it's always about 3 to 5 degrees over the ambient temperature. So if it's 85 degrees outside, I'll be sucking in 88 degree intake temperature. So, and it's taking the reading up from the map sensor, so I know that the air up here, it's still cool when it's hitting the throttle body for the most part, instead of an actual short ram intake that sits right here. Even with that heat shield that they provide, it's still sucking in all that hot air. So this does make a big difference. I know the Camrys have a cold air, a ram intake. I'm aware of that, but I wanted a cold air intake sound, and I kind of wanted to go different with this, so I made my own cold air intake, rigged it up, and it was just a plus that it worked out to fit perfectly down here, and I still get those cold temperatures, and it works out for everything. So from here I'll move on to the transmission cooler. So down here, this is where the stock fluid exchanger or the heat exchanger is for the Camry V6 for the most part. So I just really unplugged those two connectors, and I put the cooler in line. So I can't remember which one is inlet and outlet, but one is inlet, one is outlet, and I basically ran one line to the cooler over here, and then fluid will pass and it'll come out the line on the bottom. And right now I have it routed, like I said, temporarily around here, and the line goes through there, comes back up into the exchanger again, and then goes back into the actual transmission. So you can choose to bypass the actual heat exchanger. I know a lot of people bypass that actual heat exchanger. I decided to keep it just because it not only works on as far as the Camrys and I guess other Toyotas, it doesn't only work as a transmission cooler, but it actually works as also it heats up the fluid in the cold temperatures. It uses the coolant from the engine to heat up the transmission fluid. So if you bypass that 100% and you're running a full-blown transmission cooler and you're driving in winter, you really, if you don't let your transmission warm up for a good amount of time, which does take a while, then you could do damage to it. So I decided to keep it in there, that way this is working to cool the transmission on the hot days, and so is this, but it's not dedicated. But in the cold months, this is kind of working against me, so this is going to help me out, to compensate for all the cooling that I'm getting from the transmission cooler itself during the winter months. So just keep that in mind. And that's as far as the transmission cooler. And I have an OBD scanner that I use to measure the temperatures, just like the intake. I measure the temperatures for the transmission, and it really helped. So I was running maybe about 190 to maybe 205 degrees transmission before the cooler, and now I'm running a good maybe 170 to 180, sometimes even lower if I'm not really mashing on the car. And it really does, you can notice it in the shift quality. It shifts a lot tighter, shifts a lot firmer. The shifts are not sloppy. And by the way, this car has 87,000 miles, so it's not that old or anything. But Toyota transmissions are known to be very slow shifting, and they're not made to be raced. They're not made to be double clutch transmission or anything. So this does help out with that transmission feel, the shift quality. So just in case you're looking into that, Another final question that I forgot to add in the beginning is my catch can. After my last video about the maintenance, some guys were asking, how did I go about it? Where did I get it? All this stuff. So I got it from a company called ADDW1, and it's a really high quality catch can. Not sponsored or anything. I know there's a lot of catch cans out there on Amazon, on eBay, and they're baffled and non-baffled. This one is baffled, by the way. So just spend the extra cash and get a baffled one. It'll help you a little bit more. And I got it off the ADDW1 website. I believe it was a good $60, but again, it's all metal. It's all good. It comes with customizable rings. These are color coded. They have a blue, a green, silver, red, black. I chose for a red one, being that I guess it goes good with the white and stuff like that. So then I just got some vacuum hose, from AutoZone. I got a good length, and then I made my measurements, got a good length, cut it up. I added a connector here just in case I need to do maintenance or something. I need to replace a piece or something. It's there. Just connected it here from the PCV outlet. That's usually it will go back into the intake. Instead, it'll go back into the intake over here. Instead, you run it from the PCV. You goes up, goes around, goes into the inlet of the catch can. Make sure it's inlet, and then it comes out the outlet, and then it goes back into the intake manifold. So it keeps all that oil from going into your back into your engine, essentially. So other than that, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go into more detail on the modifications that I had on this car, because some people were asking, so decided I'd make a video on it. Again, this is a 2017 Camry with the V6, 2GR-FE engine, and a U660 transmission, so a 6-speed. So just in case you want some parts or anything like that, you're aware that this is available. And yeah, so if y'all have any more questions, let me know. Send me a message, put a comment on YouTube, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and till next time.